Good morning, students. Today I'm going to give you the solution of the science test which we had on Sunday. So before you start the video, I would like to take your test paper and sit along with your test paper, compare your answers with the answer key, and then you can rectify your mistakes on your test paper. Now I know that you have got less marks, but do not worry about that. For the first time you are doing the physics with the numericals, so as you will keep on practicing, you will get better, and this science is also repeated in the 11th standard. So do not look towards the marks, but practice it thoroughly and understand it the best to your abilities. Okay, so take your test paper and let us begin the solution. The 1 mark questions, you have almost done it correct, but you have to be very careful while writing the SI units. So the distance is measured by the instrument called odometer. Now in the second question, we have to name the physical quantity which tells us how fast an object moves. So here we only want to know how fast it moves and not in which direction. So the answer is speed, and speed is enough to know how fast it moves. Then the SI unit of speed is meter per second. Be careful with that. Then the instantaneous speed of the vehicle is given by the speedometer, that everybody knew. SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square. When I say SI unit, means always you have to write the SI unit. So these are the 1 mark questions, and you have done fairly well in the 1 mark questions. Now we move to the 2 mark question. This also you have almost got it correct. A cyclist travels 100 meters in 20 seconds. What is the average speed in meters per second? So I have mentioned here meter per second, means your answer should come in meter per second only. So read the question carefully, whichever unit is mentioned. Now suppose I told you to find it in kilometer per hour. What would you do? We'll discuss that in some time. So here the distance traveled is 100 meter, time taken is 20 seconds. You know the formula, average speed equal to total distance traveled upon total time taken. So 100 by 20, 5 meter per second. So again check the unit is 5 meter per second. If your unit is wrong, then half the mark will be cut. Now what I was telling you in this question, suppose you are given to find the speed in kilometer per hour. Now you are given in meters and seconds. So after you find the speed, what do you do? Do you remember? How do you convert meter per second into kilometer per hour? You multiply it by 18 by 5. So this is one technique you need to remember. 5 into 18 upon 5. Yes, this converts it. So when you multiply, what do you get? This 5 gets cut off and you are left with 18. So remember, in the MCQ, you have to be very careful with the question. When it is asked to you, speed in meter per second, your answer should be in meter per second. Now in an MCQ, they may ask you in kilometer per hour, then the correct answer will be 18 and not 5. Okay, so you need to remember this. See, read the question carefully. The next question was acceleration theoretical. Acceleration of a body of an object is defined as the change in velocity per unit time, or acceleration of an object may also be defined as the rate of change of velocity. Now since it is a 2 mark question, you can write down it is a vector quantity and the unit is meter per second square. So this was also comparatively an easy question. Now this was the tricky question in which many of you had a doubt. Now if you look at a clock and look at the clock and the minute hand of a clock, the minute hand of a clock is rotating in a circular motion. Here it is not linear motion, it is circular motion. So I have drawn, if you look at the diagram, in this diagram I have shown the hour hand by the black arrow, the minute hand that is 7 centimeter long by the orange arrow when the time is 9 o'clock. When the time is 9:30, it moves to B, which I have shown with the blue arrow. So what you can see, the distance traveled from A to B. The minute hand is moving from here in a semicircular motion up to B. Yes. So the minute hand has traveled a semicircular motion. And what is a semicircle? The length of the semicircle? It is pi r. So the distance traveled is pi r. The value of pi 22 by 7 into 7. So in half an hour, it has traveled 22 centimeter. The distance traveled from A to B is 22 centimeter. Now what was the initial position? The initial position at 9 o'clock was A, the minute hand was at A. At 9:30, the minute hour is at B. So the shortest distance between A and B is the diameter. The diameter is 2r. The r is 7, that is the length of the minute clock. So 2 into 7 equal to 14 centimeter. So the distance traveled from A to B is 14 centimeter because you are following a semicircular path, and the displacement is 14 centimeter. So I have given this sum, and remember this is not linear, this is circular motion. So you should know the formula of the circumference of the circle, that is 2 pi r, and half the circle is pi r. So this was the question which was a doubt to you. Now you need to practice a few of this circular motion okay, in circles. The next question we have of this taxi driver. It's a very simple question. You know the odometer is giving you the distance. So at the starting of the journey, the reading was 1052. At the end of the journey, the reading was 1088. So distance traveled is 1088 minus 1052, that is 36 kilometer. Now I can find the speed in two ways, meter per second and kilometer per hour, and I have done in both the methods. So here I have taken the distance traveled is 36 kilometer. Now I want the time in hour. So time is 30 minutes is actually half an hour. Yes, you divide 30 by 60, so you get 1 upon 2. So 30 minutes is half an hour. Then average speed is total distance traveled upon time taken. So 36 upon 1 upon 2. And what happens to this 1 upon 2? When it goes on the top, it becomes 2 upon 1. Now 2 upon 1 is nothing but 2. So 36 2s are 72. So the average speed is 72 km per hour. Means in 1 hour it travels 72 kilometers. So in half an hour it has traveled 36 kilometers. Now we have done the same numerical in meter per second. Yes, nothing is changed here. The 36 kilometer which we had got, I converted into meter. So 36 kilometer is 36,000 meter, and time I have taken in seconds. So 30 minutes is 30 into 60 equal to 1800 seconds. Formula for average speed I have put total distance traveled upon total time taken. So it is 36000 upon 1800. So you get 20 meter per second. Now remember in the previous slide our answer was 72 kilometer per hour. Then how do you convert kilometer per hour into meter per second? To multiply by 5 by 18. So even by doing the step we get the same answer, 20 meter per second. Now be very careful, if it is an MCQ then read the units, whether the speed is asked in meter per second or kilometer per hour, and reading the units carefully select the right answer. So if the option has meter per second, the answer is 20 meter per second. If the option is kilometer per hour, the reading is 72 kilometer per hour. So you have to be very careful with the units when giving answers to MCQs. Okay. Next question was a theoretical question. You know it very well. Distinguishing distance and displacement. It's a 3-mark question, so it will write 3 points. I have shown you all 4 here, but you have no need. So there are 4 points shown here. You may write any 3 points, but you have to always begin with the definition. Whenever you write the difference, the definition is very important. So the first point is the important point. Okay, the second point you can skip. Then any 3 points you can write, but when you write the difference, the definition of distance and displacement. Distance is the length of the actual path traveled by an object in a given interval of time. Displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and final position of a moving object in particular direction. This definition is a very important point in writing differences. Then I told you what is a scalar quantity, what is a vector quantity. If you haven't revised, revise it. Yes. So scalar quantity and vector quantity also have their differences, which I showed you and explained to you. So you need to revise that also. And now we go to the last question, which was a really good question of 3 marks. Okay. What was the question? An athlete completes a round of circular track of diameter 200 meter in 20 seconds. So the athlete is running. You can see the diagram. The diameter is 200 meter. The athlete is running around the circular track. Now he covers one round in 20 seconds. But we have to find what? The distance he has traveled and the magnitude of the displacement. Why it is written magnitude of the displacement? Because you are not bothered about the direction right now. You have to only tell the distance he has traveled, and the magnitude of the displacement at the end of 1 minute 10 seconds. Now first I have shown here what does 1 minute 10 second mean. 1 minute 10 second is 70 seconds. So the athlete has been running for 70 seconds. So the first thing you do in this sum is to find out how much he's been running in 70 seconds. Now to complete one round he took 20 seconds. So we have that the athlete has been running for 70 seconds. So now let us begin. The athlete takes 20 seconds to complete one round and he has run for 70 seconds. So in 70 seconds, how many rounds he has completed? So we divide 70 upon 20, it is 3.5 rounds. How you can see that? He took 20 seconds to complete one round. So one round in 20 seconds, second round in 40 seconds, third round in 60 seconds, and a half a round in 10 seconds. So in 70 seconds, he completed 3.5 rounds. So now we'll find the distance and the displacement. The distance he completes now. The distance he completes in 3.5 rounds. How will you calculate? Again here you need to know the formula of circumference of a circle. When he completes one round, the distance covered is 2 pi r. Now he is completing 3.5 rounds. So what is 3.5? 3.5 can be written as 7 upon 2. So we have, so he has traveled, the total distance is 3.5 rounds. Now one round is the circumference given by the formula 2 pi r. So 3.5 rounds is 7 upon 2 into 2 pi r. Putting the value of pi, and r is 100. Why? The diameter was given 200, so r is 100. Calculating we get 2200 meter. So the athlete has run 2200 meter in 70 seconds. Again, if you look at the sum, he completed one round in 20 seconds. But we want to find out the distance he has run in 70 seconds. That is 3.5 rounds. So in 3.5 rounds, he has run 2200 meter. Now we move on to the displacement. Again, in 70 seconds, he completes 3.5 round. So let us start from A. When he starts running from A, when he has first completed the first round, he starts from A and comes back to A. So he's reached back to A, so the displacement is 0. In the second round again, he comes back to A, so again his displacement is 0. In the third round again he comes back to A, the displacement is 0, but when he runs the half round he reaches to B. So here his displacement is the shortest distance between A and B. And the shortest distance between A and B is nothing but the diameter, and the diameter is 200 meter. So the displacement in 70 seconds is 200 meter, while the distance covered was 2200 meter. Okay, this is the magnitude of the displacement. Here we have not shown in which direction he was running. He could be running clockwise or he could be running anti-clockwise, but here we are not asked to tell us the direction, we are only asked to show us the displacement and the distance. So this was a typical sum which you found as a doubt, and the eighth sum. So I have provided the solution for you. Okay, so we are going to do nothing more today in the chapter. And again I told you, do not be worried if you got less marks. Marks are not important. Understanding the concept right now is very important. This science, those who are going to take science in the 11th standard, this will be the basic understanding, and the more you understand in the 9th standard, sorry, it will be much easier for you in the 11th standard. So physics is something new for you this time. In physics, again I told you before, it is very important to understand the concept. So in this chapter you have to understand the concept of rest, the concept of motion, the concept of distance, displacement, speed, velocity, acceleration. In speed you have to know uniform speed and non-uniform speed, average speed, instantaneous speed. In velocity, average velocity and instantaneous velocity. You should know what is a scalar quantity and what is a vector quantity. Now the next part of the chapter is understanding motion through graphs. So next time you have a pen and paper with you, a pencil and a graph paper with you, we are going to draw graphs of a displacement time graph, distance time graph, velocity time graph, speed time graph and acceleration time graph. So now the next part of the chapter is the same concept but understanding through graphs. So here I am finishing the lecture for today. I have given the solution. So see to the solution, and I am telling you once again, do not be worried about the marks now. Try to understand the concepts in detail, and if you got any doubt, feel free to call us anytime or send a message through WhatsApp. Okay, thank you.